up, everyone? I'm your female otaku, and I'm here to review episode 2 of Hai to Gensou no Grimgar. And I enjoyed this episode way more than last week's episode, which is to be expected. I mean, last week was a setup episode, which is fine. I'm not gonna fault it for setting things up. It's always good to set things up, so I'm fine with that. And with this episode, I did enjoy it, but I also had a few problems. But first, let me talk about what I enjoyed. The animation on the characters' faces, like their facial expressions when they were attacking the goblin. Wow, I felt that. I did. That was powerful. So props to the animators when it came to the facial expressions. And just overall the characters' movements as well. Just the whole first half, all right, with them attacking the goblin. You really felt it. This terror within the characters, all right? They were horrified. They were freaking out. And like I keep saying, you felt it. That was great. Really good, okay? This character is shaking, and then you hear the music in the background just start to tremble as well. It builds up into somewhat of a shriek, and it's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? You realize this is insane that we're having these teenagers do something like this. And this goblin was freaking me out. This goblin is supposed to be the weakest creature in all of Grimgar, and it freaked me out as much as it freaked out the characters. So just that whole scene in general, whoever the crew was that worked on that entire scene, props to them for making me feel what the characters were feeling. All right, that was great. Ah, man. Impactful. All right, now let's talk about some of the things I did not like. And that would be the tone shift. Now, yes, it's good, really good, that we went from that whole psychological terror scene to making it more calm. The thing is that it was too abrupt. They should have eased their way in there, okay? Like, right after the whole killing of the goblin thing and all them shaking, blood dripping off them, looking at their weapons and everything. After all that, we suddenly get them over at the town. They're trying to, get some money. And then you just have Haruhiro just walking around with a smile on his face, looking at the scenery, seeing the people, looking at the sights. And I'm just all like, are we not gonna talk about what you just witnessed? Like, you can't keep that in. You can't keep that bottled in at all. You have to talk about something like this with your friends. Well, all of you have just witnessed, like, what? That really threw me off. Yes, the song was pretty. The scenery with the sunset, that was gorgeous. It's just they should have eased their way in there. So, yes, I did like that scene, but before we got to that scene, we should have had the characters talk as a group about what just happened. If they did that, that would have been perfect. Then, bam, go right in with Haruhiro walking around town looking at the scenery, and then all of them coming together looking at the sunset. That would have been perfect. Would have been perfect. But hey, not every anime is perfect, but that tone shift was abrupt for me. And I want to mention one thing here. I remember last week when I talked about the whole boob talk thing being completely out of place, and so many of you agreed with me. And once again, this peeping scene was so out of place. Like, we just finished this beautiful, calming scene, and just looking at the gorgeous animation. And then we have, what's the guy's name? I think his name is Kanto? I'm not positive. He's the knight, alright? He's the one who's supposed to bring on the lass and things. And he just wakes up in the middle of the night and he's just all like, I'm gonna go peep on the girls. And I'm just like, really? You're really gonna ruin this for me? That ruined it. It really did. It was a shame to put that scene in the anime at all. Just these little scenes that they're putting are pointless. They don't need it. They really don't. If they could just take that out, that would be great. I do not want something like this every single episode where we have to talk about, oh, let's look at the girls' opie, oh my gosh. Like, come on. Seriously? You just showed us what you can do, what Grimgar can do, and then you bring me something like this? Why? Why do you gotta do that? You can be so much better. So I am a little disappointed with that, but hey, at least not all the guys were on board. They were actually legitimately trying to stop him, so whatevs, I suppose. Before I end this review, I want to say one thing here. Anyone else sense death flags? Yeah, you see, last week, I was talking with a couple people in the comments, and I should have mentioned this last week in my review, so I apologize for that, but last week within the first episode, I actually did sense a death flag with Minato, aka the priest, the healer, okay? I sensed a death flag with him, and now, with this episode, I really sense it, okay? It's always those really nice guys who are the leader of the group, the one who gets the ladies or something like that. Like, it's always that guy. The one who seems like the role model, but also is having something in the back of his head that's kind of pulling him down, hence why he was drinking at the beginning of the episode. It's always those characters that are gonna die. So I'm calling it right now. If he doesn't die, good. He's one of my favorite characters, to be honest. I really do like his character, but the death flags are real with this guy. Okay? Well, catch you tomorrow as I review Mr. Osomatsu and Akagami no Shiraikihime Season 2. I'm your female otaku, sayonara.